Hey, good morning YouTube. Alan back once again, and I have another spinner to review today. And this is a pretty recent release from VC-EDC. This is the Mini Triton V2. And this is quite the beefy spinner for sure. Stainless steel, very nicely chamfered, nice R188 bearing inside of it. And it is quite heavy. This, to me, I think this thing would make just a great tabletop spinner, just for the fact that this thing can definitely win some spin time championships for sure. Get a nice clean bearing in this thing, and it will very, very easily exceed 10 minutes. So, this is available through VC-EDC and also through Spinetic Spinners also carries this. So, of course, there'll be links down below for where you can go out and pick this one up for yourself. But without any further ado, let's take this thing down to the tabletop. Let's break it down. I'll kind of go over it, give you my thoughts, and get a close-up look at it. Let's head on down there right now. All right, here we go, up close and personal time with the Mini Triton V2 from VC-EDC. And this is a quite popular spinner. Hasn't been out that long, but a lot of people are talking about this one. And it comes in a nice tin. It doesn't have the foam that it sits into. It comes in a little plastic bag. But they also throw in an extra bearing as well as a bearing removal tool, which is kind of nice. So a couple of extras included with the spinner, so that's kind of nice. And let's go ahead and take it out of the wrapper here real quick, and I'll get rid of the tin. Set that aside. And there she is, the Mini Triton V2 VC-EDC, a pretty beefy spinner. Very well machined though. This is my first Triton, so it's really kind of hard for me to compare it to any of the other Tritons, but if this is an improvement on the other ones, the previous versions, then this, I would imagine that those other versions were very, very nice also. This is a pretty awesome spinner actually. It's kind of beefy, so it does have a tendency to kind of wear your hands out, especially if you're doing vertical spins like this, just because of the amount of pressure it takes to hold on to this thing. It's very beefy, very nicely balanced, as you can see. Very nice chamfering. There are no hot spots on this thing whatsoever. It's very nice to hold. Does come with an R188 bearing in it, and it does have the bearing lock retention system. I'll go ahead and show you that. And of course it does come with the standard Triton caps. Very nice, very comfortable. And there is your bearing retainer and the R188 stainless steel bearing as well. And this thing is a spin time beast. Of course I'm running a spin time test up in the corner. And this thing, now that spin time test that I ran was right out of the box. So I have actually done a bearing clean on this thing, and I have easily exceeded 10 minutes on a table spin now with this spinner. So the potential is there for long spin times. If you're into the table spin thing. If you're in for fidgeting, it's got a lot of nice edges to it, and a lot of nice chamfers and cuts, machining, and there's just really nowhere that you can hit with your finger that you're not going to get a decent spot to either do a flick or a pull. So fidgetability on this thing is absolutely fantastic. Quite beefy, very heavy. I'm going to get a weight on it here real quick before we go any further so you can kind of get an idea how beefy this thing is. It is a little bit heavier than I like, but it is such a very, very cool spinner. Let's take a peek. So you see it's about 111, almost 112 grams. So it is quite the beef for sure. Very smooth spinning, very quiet. I'll spin it on the table. You can get a better idea. Of course, the table does resonate quite a bit, and as you can barely hear it. So that being said, being as heavy as it is and being on a tabletop, and it's still as quiet as it is, you can definitely tell that this is a nice quiet spinner for sure. So in situations where you'd need it to be not drawing any kind of attention, this would definitely be a good one for that for sure. Very comfortable, very well machined, nice chamfers, nice machine marks, just a beautiful hunk of stainless steel for sure. Very nice buttons, capable of table spins, pretty nice spin effect. Of course, there's not a whole lot of not really arms per se to this thing. A lot of its mass is on the edge. If you take a peek at it from the side, you can see how it does get thicker on the edges. I guess it would be considered a tri-spinner just because of the way that it is chamfered. It does have a triangle kind of look. So I guess you could call this a tri-arm spinner. So I look at it as more a large kind of a dab style spinner because it's almost round. So, but yeah, it does qualify as a tri-spinner, and it is quite the beefy spinner for sure. Very heavy, very weighty, a little bit much for my taste to carry around just because of its weight. I do like the fact that it is quiet. I do like the fact that it does have that removable R188 bearing in it, and the fact that they did do the very nice chamfering on this thing and made it quite comfortable to spin. So what I think we'll do right now with this thing is we'll take it outside and put some sunshine to it and see what this thing looks like when it warps. It is a beautiful spinner to look at, and I am sure that under the sunlight it's going to look just as nice. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take it outside, and I'll come back and I will give you my final thoughts and assessments on the Triton V2 Mini. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that portion of the video. It doesn't have the greatest warp effect just because this thing is more round and doesn't have, you know, the extreme arms and stuff that a lot of the other spinners do, but still a nice effect nonetheless. Real quick, my thoughts on this, the Mini Triton V2, a little bit heavier than I like. Definitely in fidgeting with this thing, I did develop a little bit of finger fatigue with it, trying to hold on to it, especially when you're doing these vertical spins. So to me, this would make a great desktop spinner just for the fact that it can sit there and just spin for such a long time. So still a nice spinner. Not horribly priced, pretty easily obtainable for sure. Definite nice addition to any collection. So like I said, I will post a link down below where you can go pick this thing up. And also, if you would be so kind as to hit that like button down below, I do appreciate that, of course. And on your way out the door, if you could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button up there. Come back, check out some of my other videos. I'm going to post a couple more videos over here, top and bottom. Be sure to check those out as well. And once again, remember, keep calm, spin on. Peace.